Crossroads kids, welcome back to our Thursday YouTube video for Crossroads kids. We hope that you're enjoying these videos that we've been putting together for you and that you're learning some things. We wish we could meet with you in person, but until then, we'll continue to do these videos for you. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to read a story together today. This is called The Treasure Tree, and this is a book that I used to read to my kids when they were about your age and maybe a little bit younger, and they loved this book, and so they would ask me to read it to them over and over and over again. So they wanted me to share this story with all of you. So this story is called The Treasure Tree. It's written by John and Cindy Trent, as well as Gary and Norma Smalley, and it's illustrated by Judy Love. So the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to read chapter 1 to you today for our Crossroads Kids video, and then I will give you a Bible verse to memorize after that. And then I'm going to go ahead and record the other chapters so that if you're interested in the story and you want to find out what happens to the four friends and their adventures, then you can go ahead and go to our YouTube channel and you can watch the other stories. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with chapter 1 of The Treasure Tree. It's called The Biggest Birthday Party Ever. Chapter 1. All the forest animals had gathered for the biggest, bestest birthday party ever. There were 4 birthday cakes and 4 places of honor, and 4 best friends were sitting in those special places, all cheering and laughing. There was Lance the lion wearing a red party hat. He always walked and talked like he was in charge. Next to him, with a purple hat on, was Honey the golden retriever. Her friendly brown eyes and caring ways made others feel all warm and toasty inside. To Honey's right was Chewy the beaver. He was wearing a shiny yellow hat. Chewy always wanted to do things just right. He was measuring just how wide to cut the pieces of his cake. "There's a right way to cut this cake," he said, "and that's the way I'm going to do it." Standing in the chair next to Chewy was Giggles the otter. Giggles was wearing a hat with orange polka dots on it. She seemed to add fun and spice to every meeting of the friends. "Watch this," she called out as she tossed her piece of cake high into the air. "No hands!" It was an expert throw, but unfortunately the cake didn't make an expert landing. It fell right on the otter's nose, covering her face with icing. Everyone laughed and laughed at the sight of Giggles covered with icing. Then it was time to open the presents. The last present was from the wise old owl, and it was to all 4 of the best friends. Lance, Giggles, Honey, and Chewy were very excited as they tore open the big package. Finally, after digging through all the paper and having to help Giggles out of the box which she had fallen in, they found something on the very bottom. "It's a map," said Giggles. "Ooh, I love maps," said Chewy. In fact, it was a very old map with 4 strange riddles. It was Honey who read out loud what the words said. "Follow this map and find 4 keys that open the gate to the treasure tree. To find the first key, this rule is law. You'll have to search to the very last straw. Key number 2 is by the sea, hidden away where none can see. For the 3rd treasure key, here's the rhyme. Listen with your heart and don't waste time. If to the treasure tree you want to race, you'll have to see what's out of place." treasure, they all said together. Oh, thank you, Owl. Let's go, said Lance the lion. I'll lead us to the treasure tree right now. Lions are always in a hurry. But shouldn't we talk first about what we should do? Asked Honey the golden retriever. I haven't had time to get everything packed, said Chewy. He was already thinking of all the things to put in his backpack. Hey, we haven't played any birthday games yet, said Giggles. They all agreed to finish the party first. Then after more yummy cake than they should have eaten in 2 birthdays, they decided what to do. They would start out the next morning and follow the map to find the 4 golden keys. And so began 4 great adventures that would lead them to the treasure tree. All right, Crossroads kids, that's chapter 1 of the treasure tree. So tune in to YouTube if you want to find out what happens to the 4 friends. Before we end today, I want to leave you with your verse. It is from Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." Let me say that one more time. Ephesians 2:10. "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." Now that verse tells us that God has good things planned for each of us to do, and He's created us specially with our unique talents and abilities to do those things. And so we're going to find that out in this book, The Treasure Tree, about how God has gifted the 4 friends and how He uses each of their gifts to bless the world. So we hope that you are blessed today, Crossroads kids. We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.